Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Neighborhood Bridges Kindness Cast. I'm Rick Bannister, the CEO and founder of Neighborhood Bridges, and this morning I'm thrilled to be joined by Jennifer Pluck, who's a school counselor at Stanton Middle School and Kent City Schools, correct?
That's right.
In Portage County. So first of all, Jen, thanks for joining us today, and also thanks for what you do for the children at the middle school and in Kent City Schools. We really appreciate that.
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Neighborhood Bridges has been operating in Kent now for, I think, almost 2 years. And, what can you share with the residents of Kent about the impact that you see of Neighborhood Bridges to the students there that you work with in the middle school?
Absolutely. Working with Neighborhood Bridges has allowed us really to eliminate barriers for lots of different students in a variety of ways. Anytime that as counselors we encounter a need where a student doesn't have something that will help them academically or socially, or just help them to thrive in general, we've been able to use the Neighborhood Bridges resource to find a way to get the student whatever it is that they might need. Um, we've done that in a lot of different ways. Our most recent addition is we have a resource closet available for all students with a variety of things. We have school supplies, we've got hairbrushes, deodorants, toothpaste, um, really any hygiene need that a student might come up with, we can fill that need. So Neighborhood Bridges has helped us to keep that resource closet stocked. If we're running low on something, we post the need and typically it's filled right away.
I'm so happy that you brought this up because I got to travel to Kent and made a presentation with our area director for Neighborhood Bridges Kent, Kathleen Weiler, to the Kent Rotary, and the Kent Rotary is the group that gave us the grant to create those we call them student success centers
Yeah.
with all those personal hygiene products. And so I think a lot of people might be surprised to learn that students have that kind of basic need. But I see it
Yeah.
everywhere across all of our communities. And one of the things that I like, Jen, the most about having that resource is that it gives a school counselor a private moment with a student to further assess them, because it's likely if they need soap or shampoo that there might be additional needs for that student or that family.
Absolutely. And you bring that up. It's an excellent point. Earlier this year, I had a student who came down for some of those, more typical resources from the Success Closet. And after talking for a while, learned that she and her sister had been sleeping on air mattresses for years. So we went ahead and posted it on Neighborhood Bridges just to see if that might be able to get filled. And within maybe 2 days or so, I had a response from Kathleen, who is wonderful. Our Neighborhood Bridges rep is absolutely phenomenal. I had a response from her within just a couple of days that we had filled the need and they were able to deliver those. So 2 kiddos came down for hairbrushes, now have mattresses and are getting a much better night's rest.
Yeah, another, we don't rehearse this. I have no idea what you're going to say to me. And so here again, you're pointing out this issue of the beds. Again, across all 49 communities, it's amazing that I think from a furniture perspective, our most highest need are for beds and washers and dryers.
Mhm.
Students or families might have a roof over their head, but they're sleeping on the floor, or they don't have a kitchen table, or they don't have a way to wash their clothes. And it's so nice to hear this story because I think we all take that kind of stuff for granted. We don't even think about the bed that we sleep in, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what does this mean? I mean, I tell people all the time, and it's so fun to get to visit with you today, because I like to tell school counselors that I created Neighborhood Bridges for you, knowing that you advocate for kids every day of your career, and so it's so fun to see that the entire Kent City community has rallied, behind our students in need there. But can you just share from your learned lens, as a school counselor, what does this mean to the student that gets touched by a need that's filled? What does this do for them in the school community?
Yeah, you mentioned community, and definitely it impacts that student. Just eliminating that barrier. I think of a student earlier this year, an athlete who needed some sneakers for his particular sport. The family couldn't afford them. We were able to provide that. So, not only does that student feel seen and cared for, but I think just a greater connection to the community, knowing that Kent is a community where we do support each other, is really meaningful. And then I also see it on the end, talking with Kathleen, it seems that those folks who are out there sharing their kindness and sharing their resources to help provide us with what we're giving to students, they are feeling a greater sense of connection to the community as well. So I feel like it's really just bringing us all together. And it's really special. It's really, it's wonderful to see.
Yeah, it truly does take a community. And again, this is part of the underpinnings of neighborhood bridges is the understanding that 3 out of 4 residents in a community don't have kids in the schools at any particular time. So, they're not putting their kids on, at this point, their children on a school bus, and they're not really engaged day to day with our schools. And so, we're hopeful and excited that this is possibly an opportunity to let everybody participate and lift up the kids of the Kent City schools.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm thinking of another, I think probably the most impactful situations that I've seen. We've encountered some needs for some of our students who have disabilities, and we've
Mhm.
been able to work with neighborhood bridges to really do big things for these families. We had a student last year who had a motorized wheelchair and could not get from the front door to the bus stop without major obstacles. So volunteers from Neighborhood Bridges came out and they cleared the path, they laid the cement. I mean, they from start to finish, they completed that project. And that is going to make such a lasting difference for that family. Here's a young person who now has access to the bus for middle school and high school, but also, just has access to his community now. He can get from the front door to wherever it is that he needs to go. Um, it just really makes a difference. And then thinking of his caretaker, who wasn't able to provide that financially, taking that weight off of her shoulders was just such a relief, because she knew that the student needed it and she didn't know how to make it happen. So to be a part of that was really incredible. And then similarly, a student with a disability at home was struggling with just showering, because they didn't have one of the grab bars in their shower. So that was another example where we were able to partner with Neighborhood Bridges. A wonderful volunteer went out to the home, assessed their bathroom situation, figured out how to make it happen. And, that barrier no longer exists for that kid, not just while they're in middle school, but for the long term.
Right. Well, wonderful. What a fun conversation with you today. And I appreciate your recalling so many examples of how the community has touched students. And I do want to again thank the Rotary Club of Kent for I think it was almost $1,700 grant that they provided to Neighborhood Bridges so we could uh, buy and stock all the personal care items in all of our schools in Kent. So, Jen, thanks for taking time out of your day to just share this message, and we'll share this out to the larger community. And I sure am grateful that you are where you're at, advocating for kids every day, and it's an honor to get to work with you.
Thank you so much. It's the best job in the world. I wouldn't do anything else.
Okay, thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.